Hi, we've been expecting you, okay? A multidimensional being has just entered the chat. Hello, beautiful soul. So, what I'm seeing for you happen right now is your logical, rational mind is playing catch up with what your soul has already knew, and I'm seeing it as a map being given to the analytical mind to begin to comprehend the things that your heart has been guiding you through all along. And I'm seeing it's not that you've been guided externally anywhere, it's that you've been guided into deeper dimensions within yourself. Now, the deeper you go, the higher you go as well. That's the paradox of this construct. So deeper brainwave states leads to higher dimensions that you get to navigate, and you're navigating it very, very consciously and fluidly right now. We're going to put some illustrations today for you to be able to digest mentally, something that you already resonate with on a soul level very, very deeply, and I'm hearing very, very profoundly. I'm seeing you have gone through this cycle through many carbon-based life forms. You've been able to come back to this understanding and come back to this knowing. The first step on the ladder is Malkuth. And Malkuth is automatic reality. It is survival mode. So this is base level consciousness that says, why is this happening to me? Or it's moments of reaction, habit to our own circumstances on a day-to-day basis. This is waking up conscious or scrolling, numbing and repeating routines, maybe making decisions based on pressure or fear. And the thing is, most people live here by default. It's like a default setting. You can think about it as like an autopilot setting and not choice. There is no application of free will here. It literally is where you are sleeping and repeating instinctual habits or behaviors, usually ancestral loops, okay, or reinforced ways of being. And this is where the cosmic being that incarnates into this dense physical plane has essentially fallen asleep within this construct and forgotten themselves. I see this as the veils of Maya, right? The illusion of forgetting. And that's the being that is sleeping. It's the deity that is actually sleeping and lost in matter. The beautiful thing is, once you bring awareness into the fact that you are reacting from Malkuth, you instantaneously shift into a higher octave. To really follow along, I want you to think of Malkuth as the unconscious. Then when we begin to raise into higher states of awareness, we enter into the second step of the ladder, which is Yesod. Yesod is the subconscious mind. It's about your inner reality and your emotional state of being. This rules things like feelings and memories and the imagination. On a consciousness level, this is where the being begins to say, something inside of me is driving this. This is where dreams speak and emotional loops repeat. Manifestation begins, but often unintentionally. People enter Yesod when they journal, when you do things like daydream, or you replay memories, or you visualize outcomes. Anytime you imagine a future or you relive a memory, you're already working with Yesod. So the way to trigger that shift is to choose. Choice is the trigger. Instead of unconsciously replaying, you can actually begin to direct the image. The third step on the ladder is Hod and Netzach. This is mind versus emotion. It's all about pattern recognition. And these two, they work in tandem. They are always working together. Hod, which is the mind, is all about logic and language and meaning. It asks things like, what is this pattern trying to teach me? Netzach is desire, attachment, and drive, because it's the emotion. It asks things like, what am I emotionally invested in? People bounce here constantly from overthinking, they're stuck in Hod, and emotional spirals where they get stuck in Netzach. You shift states every time you stop fighting your emotions and instead you start understanding them. You start understanding the information that your body is trying to reveal to you. The trigger in that awareness is to integrate. To integrate is to become whole with. To become whole is actually to heal. It's to process those emotions. And every time your mind and emotions come into that agreement, your energy and vibration actually rises because you are now embodying coherence. The fourth step on the ladder is Tiferet. Tiferet is the observer or the higher self. This is where you move with incredible coherence. You are moving with that sense of clarity and alignment. This is where consciousness says, I am witnessing this. I am not lost in it. This is the pivot point of the tree. You access Tiferet when you pause instead of react. When you choose truth over comfort and you act with integrity. You don't ascend by effort. You ascend by honesty. This is the moment that old timelines collapse. Decisions feel clean and your direction becomes obvious. The fifth step on the ladder is dat, the jump. But not a place, it's a shift. This is the state of knowing something without any proof. This is where consciousness says, I know what I have to do, I just have to do it. That appears in sudden clarity, a truth that you cannot unsee. It's a decision that ends a cycle. This is why awakening feels destructive, because once you know something, you can't go back. The sixth step on the ladder is Chokmah or Binah. This is vision, but with structure. Chokmah rules things like insight and spark and inspiration. Binah rules boundaries and discipline with form. People touch these states when they receive an idea that changes everything, or they build a new life structure around this truth that they receive. This is where higher consciousness isn't just floating, but is actually anchored and embodied. The truth is, you're already moving up and down this tree daily. The difference between mastery and suffering is whether you're doing it consciously, because spiritual growth is not about focusing on just climbing upwards on this ladder, but it's about being able to shift on purpose. If you've ever paused before reacting, chosen differently, or trusted an inner knowing, you're already accessing higher consciousness. The Kabbalah just teaches you how to stay there for longer. With that being said, children of light, we're going to go ahead and get a closing message for you. I'm actually going to pull a gateway of the light activation and see what advice you're being given at this stage. I'm hearing in this phase. Your message is the Stargate of the heart. It's about opening the heart chakra, unlocking, and generosity. This puts you in a state of receiving. It also puts you in a state of non-judgmental, neutral observation, because when you activate the heart space, you recognize your interconnectedness to all things. You recognize yourself as all the planes of consciousness, but also none of them simultaneously, right? It's where you're experiencing all and nothing at once. Right, so let's go ahead and read the Stargate. Stargate, unlocking generosity. The heart space is a sacred, deep place within you. For some time, you have protected it with psychic shields that have not only stopped you from being hurt, but also stopped you from feeling love. This is about unconditional love. Okay, that's your message. Unconditional love is unconditionally accepting yourself at every phase in your evolution journey. I'm hearing each progression is a part of the whole. So don't ever think that you evolve beyond something, but it's about what you're constantly evolving into. And really, the part of the human brain that is being accessed is going to define the state of evolution, or let's just say the phase or part of the Kabbalah that the human is activating, consciously or unconsciously, at any given moment in time. And you are always constantly phasing in and out of these different dimensional planes, as well as other organisms of consciousness. So this says, this gateway is appearing to show you that you have finally dropped this shield and are ready to experience love. Universal wisdom wants you to know that it is your divine right. It's about loving and wholly accepting all parts of yourself, because that's what it is to become whole. That's what it is to become healed. Because imagine being a multidimensional being, but then rejecting or compartmentalizing certain dimensional expressions of yourself. You know, to become healed is literally to become whole. That's what it is to integrate all octaves of you, all expressions of yourself, and recognize them. So you are highly empathetic and a generous soul who has so much to give, and you're being called forth to reveal the deeper and more vulnerable aspects of your being. Divine light beings are surrounding you, holding you and encouraging you to relax. All the restrictions and blockages of your heart space have now been removed. The worst is behind you and the world needs you. So there could be something about vulnerability with yourself is a connecting bridge to connect deeply with all aspects and facets of yourself, because you're a diamond with many facets, not just one. I'm also going to get a soul's journey message for you. Woo. Almost flew off. We have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Okay, and then you also have relationships at the base, which is really interesting because it says I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So there's something about, as you cultivate a more honest and deeper relationship with yourself, I'm seeing some of you are going to be seeing collapsing and materializing into reality mirrored reflections of other highly evolved beings. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Other highly evolved beings. So let me go ahead and read self-esteem for you. And it's interesting because we have partnerships right at the base. I shuffled these cards right before opening this message, and partnerships was right there. And I was thinking, you even have transitions right behind that, and know yourself right behind that. So there could be a transition that's happening as you're fostering a deeper connection with yourself that could also be mirrored because you're getting to know this version of self. I'm also going to read that partnerships card. The transition just fell on the floor. So again, there's like a transition that you're moving through, or that has collapsed already in your reality. So self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. It's easy to perceive others as being better than you. This is a trap of the ego. There is no one greater or lesser than you. There are only those who have learned how to reveal their gifts to a greater or lesser degree. Everyone is born with unique abilities of the soul, and just like snowflakes, no two are ever alike. You have a unique perspective to share with the world and have come back to this time to put your stamp on it. Perhaps you may not have been aware or even in tune with your incredible and gifted self. The interesting thing, maybe we'll do like another session on this if you guys want to see it, let me know in the comment section, of how when you block off or compartmentalize certain octaves of yourself, you're literally blocking yourself off from being able to explore certain dimensions, which are frequencies that are self-organized. And in those dimensions, there is information waiting for you there. That's where you can actually retrieve and access past life, future life, parallel life, memories and information that's extremely healing, right? It's things that you're able to integrate with. So you actually block off that memory in many ways. So why not try to make a list of 10 aspects of yourself or abilities you possess that you love and hold in high regard. It is not always easy to write about yourself, but sometimes you need to be reminded just how special you are. Remember that you did not come down to this schoolroom by accident. You have meaning and a reason for being here. You are a treasure chest filled with incredible gifts and insights. Now is the time to celebrate you. So yeah, it's like a coming home party, right? That's what I'm seeing. It's a coming home. Now let me read the partnerships card for you, because I'm seeing this as, first of all, a new relationship that's being cultivated with yourself, a much deeper one that's then going to be reflected, I'm hearing, in the world around you. So this could be, I'm hearing spiritual alliances. I was supposed to say business, but some of you, this could be spiritually aligned business alliances. Also interdimensional contracts. I'm also seeing as, you know, some of you, this is going to be, the thing is with any relationships in this realm, no matter their source, whether it's platonic, whether it's, romantic, whether it's familial, they're always soul contractual agreements that are designed for soul growth. That's what it is, right? They're always relationships are designed for some type of soul growth. So partnerships. A good partner helps you grow. So seek partnerships that light you up, that stoke the fire of curiosity and are fun, and keep you grounded to your true self. First and foremost, make sure that you are a good and kind partner to yourself. A hurt mind cannot love, so be mindful of your thoughts and treat yourself with care. So this is about two beings, Anex and Saimid, that were once king and queen of Arcos, and now they live amongst the gods. So I'm seeing this as transcendence in many ways, where you're transcending to higher frameworks of, you know, viewing yourself and also viewing, you know, your life on earth. Let's read the relationship, since it was the underlying foundation card too. So I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. In this three-dimensional world in which we live, there is a sense that we are separate from one another and that we meet by chance. This is an illusion. The people in our lives are drawn to us and here for a reason. It's through sharing experiences and having relationships with others that we begin to understand ourselves. When someone appears in your life, you must see what is not resolved or whole in a person and understand the lessons he or she brings home to you. You draw others like magnets, and in order to learn various aspects of yourself, the people you have close relationships with on earth are usually members of your soul family. You've chosen to incarnate together to help each other learn lessons. Even though it may not seem that way to you now, once a lesson is learned, don't be surprised if that person fades away. People are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So we had done a message on this previously around networks of a family, right? A nucleus of a family, and we manifest in this realm from our subconscious mind. So when we have subconscious core belief systems or wounds, we'll actually attract in a network of a family to mirror what those wounds are, right? Of lack or fear of rejection, abandonment, shame, whatever that could be. And until we begin to see that as being mirrored to us, and we begin to recognize those as aspects of ourself, and we no longer judge those aspects of self, you know, the things that we judge will be the same things that we attract, and we will continue to attract the things that we judge until we no longer judge what it is that we've attracted into our experience. And that's what it is to integrate. That's what it is to fully accept, unconditionally love yourself and also the other, at where you are and they may be in their generational. I'm hearing stories that are unfolding, okay, an evolution story that's unfolding, but then you'll slowly begin to reinforce new ways of being, to the point where you are now breaking down the expectations that others have had of you, because you're now creating new neural pathways within your brain where you're reinforcing new ways of being. You're quite literally not the same person as you were from the time you attracted them to the aftermath, you know. And as those networks break down, new ones begin to simultaneously build. So I'm seeing an interruption happening, where again, soul growth can feel, or awakenings, sudden awakenings can feel like interruptions, but that is a catalyst for your biggest transformation. So that could be a message that you need to hear at this stage of your journey. So I'll speak to you guys very soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I do kind of want to get a Cosmos Oracle message. Let me just get one for you. And yeah, we'd love to have you around. Stratus pause before reacting. Stratus pause talks about the place that you're in right now, especially in regards to partnerships. This is the quiet before the storm, because you have expansion at the base. Strato pause talks about being at a transit point, like a bus stop. It's very temporary and you're not supposed to be there long term. And then expansion at the base is almost like something is brewing right now in the quantum. So if you feel like you've been moving through this path in solitude or alone, that's not for long. There's some kind of sacred return that you're coming to within yourself before you see that mirrored in deeper bonds that will be fostered externally. And it's starting from the bond that you're fostering within yourself first and foremost. All right, so someone needs to hear that as well. Anyway, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing, because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards Otter Sanctuaries, so you have 2 discount codes for that in the description box. And I'll speak to you guys very soon. Until next time, bye!